Are you tired? Had a rough day maybe? And just want to relax for a few hours? No. Do you want to get immersed into a chill game full of cute characters? Hello? Fantastic! Then this game is not for you. Welcome to Noita, another cruel game made by Finnish people. And considering even Lakeview Cabin and Fear and Hunger are from Finnish people, I am starting to see a little pattern in there. And if you don't know anything about this game, be prepared, because it's gonna be a roller coaster of emotions and mental sanity. Okay! No! This video aims to cover the very basics of the game, while also narrating my own personal experience with it, because we streamed the whole game here on YouTube. So welcome, I'm your host, Frapollo94. Sit down, take some chips, and enjoy the fantastic world of Noita. Let's start immediately by mentioning the most important aspect. Everything in this game wants to kill you. It doesn't matter if it's a spider, a cannibal, a man with a gun, your father, everything wants to kill you. And this of course includes yourself. Ooh! Oh! 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 No, sorry! And the game is a roguelike. Every time you die, you restart from the beginning. You will have multiple epiphanies where you just stare at the screen and you wonder where the hell did you go wrong in life. I'll give you a hint when you installed this stupid game, of course. But there will be more time to share my frustration and my love for this game later. Because of course I love it. I wouldn't have streamed it multiple times for more than 10 hours per stream. But for now, it's better to start a new game and say hello to the world. We are greeted with some monoliths having the normal controls, and nothing else. No tutorials, no information about where you're supposed to go or what you're supposed to do, and I already love this. I don't think it's an unpopular opinion that when video games try to hold your hand too much is almost a little bit annoying. And we see the entrance to a cave. Venturing into the cave should be what you are supposed to do at the start. There are gonna be enemies which drop gold when defeated, you're gonna find more wands which are your weapons in this game, and also potions and other particular items which are your support items, we may call them. But wait a second, if you listen closely, I said it should be the main way of proceeding. Because that's not what I did at the start! Absolutely no, I went on the left. In there I found a tree, I threw an egg which spawned my mother, and I took an ability called the Curse of Greed which killed me. No! And that's how my first attempt ever playing Noita went, dying at the start of the dungeon. Fantastic. The reason I said all of this very fast is because I want you to enter a little bit into the mood of Noita. There are gonna be a lot of chaotic moments where you barely understand anything, and possibly you barely understand why you die. This is a game heavily based on knowledge, especially because the only thing you can unlock in here are spells after you collect them for the first time ever. Spells of course can help a lot too, but if you don't know how to use them, where to use them, or when to use them, you're gonna fail. The more stuff you know, the more routes you can unlock for yourself, the more you can exploit the game until you inevitably die, referred to as get Noitad. But maybe I am rushing a little bit too much. Let's go back. When you start, you will notice you have 2 wands and a potion. And if you look closely, you will notice wands have a lot of stats which dictate how fast they shoot, how fast they reload all the spells present on the wand, the mana they have and regenerate to be able to cast those spells, and other things which for now are just superficial. In particular, you have 2 wands. One of the 2 will always be a damage dealer, and the other one will be a digging wand. It will contain a spell like the bomb, or the dynamite, or the fireball, something which is able to break blocks. Potions instead have a lot of side effects, but they are really kinda situational for now, except being able to extinguish fire. In the first part, you are surrounded by a lot of very slow enemies, which should be able to teach you the core of combat. Combat is deadly. Remember I just said they are slow? Yeah, then why do I keep dying? Letting your guard down for even just 1 single second may end up in a game over. And I don't know if you noticed just now, but did I mention any way to heal? But maybe. Not everything is really meant to kill us. If you make it all the way down, you're gonna find a row of portals. Welcome home. Also called the Holy Mountain. Portal, screw you! Don't care. Don't care. Why is it everything shaking? Huh? Oh! The soundtrack. The atmosphere. Everything in here screams. Relax. You'll live another day, for now. And also, here is one of the main ways to heal in your first runs. Your HP will go back to full, plus 10 extra max HP. And there is also a spell refresher, because you see, some spells, which are presumably more powerful than others, have a limited amount of usage every time. For example, the bomb I mentioned before only has 3 usages. After you finish those, the wand will not shoot bombs anymore, unless you find a spell refresher. There is also a shop in here which may sell wands or spells at the cost of gold. Huh, maybe I should have killed more enemies for more money earlier. And last but not least, you can choose one of 3 perks. What perk is best is very difficult. There are some very OP ones, there are some very trash ones. My best suggestion is always pick immunities. Immunities to any type of damage are always convenient, as they have the potential to completely neutralize certain opponents. And also let me mention the last and most important property of this room. Tinkering. Tinkering is the action of changing the spells present on your current wand. Imagine your wand as a gun, and the spells are the bullets. In here, you can remove or assign new spells into your wand. Maybe because those spells have very good synergy between them, or they are just very good, or you want to remove the spells from the wand because you want to get rid of that wand for some better ones in the next zone. And talking about next zone, there seems to be no way of going back. We can only go further. And you will notice leaving one of these rooms will remove the ability to tinker inside of it. So be sure to be absolutely prepared if you want to leave. And soon enough, you will reach the snowy depths, where you may have your first game over. No, okay, let's be real, you already died countless times before this point, okay? Here there are more enemies with more HP, and there is one of the most bastard abominations ever conceived by any game developer in the world. Ukko. This thing is horrible! No! Not only he makes you explode, but he also stuns you. If there are other enemies when you are near an Ukko, it's game over. He is potentially the most annoying opponent in the early game. And after you die, you are ready to re-enter the cave once again. I think now you understand the core loop. Go deeper, reach an holy mountain, spend your money for more spells, go deeper, reach another holy mountain, go deeper, get Noitad. No! Each time having another piece of the puzzle, knowing a new mechanic, knowing a new passage, always something new. And this does not limit only to the route to follow, but it also limits to your playstyle. What if I take some damaging spells? What if I try to experiment with liquids? What if I go somewhere else? Huh? That's actually a question some of you may have had by this point. Is there anything else other than this descent into madness? You may also remember, at the entrance of the cave, if you go on the right, there is a giant lava lake, but it's seemingly impossible to be surpassed in your current conditions. But wait, what if... Can you even go above the mountain? I have an idea! Okay. Almost! Good shot! Yes! Yes! Maybe we can do it! Yes! Yes! Okay! This single action to you may not seem immediately important, but it's the most important passage of the game. Not specifically for what we will find in here, but because this unlocks your brain. Now you know there are some limits you can break. There are some zones you may think as inaccessible because the game will never allow you to go there. But you can. You are on the mountain. You surpassed a game limit. And it's the first one. This will start it for everything else. And what is our prize for having broken the supposed limits of the game? Boom! Okay. Now we're talking. Orbs. Orbs are one of the main ways you will unlock new spells with. After the first time you collect them, they're gonna be HP up, so they are still relevant to be taken in a run, but that's not the only thing waiting for us in here. I see. Say hello with me to the wand connoisseur. sorry. I wanted to say Savoen Tuntilla, also known as Squidward. This, I think, I am not sure, but I think it's the earliest boss you will see in a run. And paradoxically, he's a nightmare! I am not joking, he's one of the worst things you may find in the early game. He can teleport you into lava, deals incredible damage, takes very low damage, has a sort of immunity frame or something. Really, trust me, do not even consider trying to defeat Savoen Tuntilla at the start of your blind run. It's impossible! You should forget this room forever for now. In the current moment, you should focus on understanding more how to tinker better wands. At this point, you may have noticed some spells are able to reduce the cast delay of your wand or the reload time, allowing you for faster shooting. And maybe you also inserted into your strategy some modifiers. Modifiers are blue spells which give special properties to the wand or to the projectiles. After tinkering a bit more, you will miraculously overcome even the snowy depths. It cannot become much worse after that, right? I said the Ukko is the most annoying in the early game, so the next zone is gonna be easy, right? It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy base. How do I even explain this? How do I explain this? This zone is one of the strongest casual filters I have ever seen in any game. Tight corridors, countless enemies, explosions, electricity. If you are not prepared enough, you will die before reaching the next portal. While previously, you could just more or less skip the majority of the zone without requiring any particular stuff and go to the portal, in here you have to go through the corridors. And if you are not prepared, you can still have the chance to go sneaky by going through the corridors using spells such as the drill or the bone saw, and maybe you can reach the portal. Well, congratulations! Now you are locked even way deeper into the dungeon with enemies which will become progressively stronger. Long story short, in your first hours, it will be a miracle if you're even able to overcome the easy base. So, in this chaos of death, suffering and explosions, you may start to wonder, but Frapollo, how can I prepare better for lower floors? Isn't it more luck than anything else? It's not like I can do anything else except going through the previous zones. Well, first of all, it is a roguelike, so luck will be present even in the smallest quantity always in the game. But also, no, there are other ways to increase your preparation. And I think it's finally time to talk about them. Remember the three I mentioned at the start? Or the path which led to Savoen Tuntilla? For the sake of simplicity, we will call these zones out of the normal descent side areas. There are several side areas on each level of the dungeon, which may contain more stuff to equip yourself or another get Noitad. One of the best zones you may visit at the start is on the left of the second level, Fungal Caverns. This zone contains more powerful opponents, but if you are lucky enough or good enough to be able to reach some wands in here, you may find some fantastic masterpieces. My favorite side area is on the right of the snowy depths. Wanna know why? Because it's a direct connection to the first level. Remember I mentioned how there is seemingly no way to go back up once you reach a holy mountain? We just found one way, which is exactly on the other side of the lava pool. Pretty cool. And on the right there is Savoen Tuntilla, so do not go on the right. Also you can just surpass the lava pool by using a liquid, because it turns the lava into obsidian. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of possibilities. Remember how people praise fairly Dark Souls for the verticality of the map, for all the connections between different zones, which make you feel the space you are traversing. You know you are below the undead parish in here. From the Dragon's Valley you can reconnect to Blighttown. The map does not feel like a corridor, it feels like an endless space of possibilities. And now let's look back at Noita. From how I described it up to now, it seems apart from this shortcut there is no way to go back above, right? You see, there are a couple of drills in the game, as I said before, that are able to destroy some materials, allowing you to create new paths. Keeping that in mind, I want you to look at the lightsaber. Some of it... Yes, you understood precisely. The map is not a corridor anymore. it's a giant open space full of toys. And you are a little kid who just came out of kindergarten and wants to play. You know what that means? As long as the toys do not kill you... you can do whatever you want! And lightsaber is not even the only way to break free. There is also other stuff such as the black hole, for example. The possibilities are infinite, and eventually you're gonna find everything you need in each run you do. But, if you watched up to now, you may realize this game is evil, and nothing comes without a downside. Later... Hello? Say hello to Stevari. No, 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 no. Okay, I have a plan. Take this. No. Leave me alone. No, not enough for it. I have an idea. Without damage. And say goodbye to Stevari. This little bastard appears if the Holy Mountain gets damaged. There is also a stronger variant later on, but it's still a long way before we talk about it. The important part is that regardless of the downsides, we now know a way to go back to the upper level. So, going back to business, we had a dungeon to descend into, right? Well, I mean, now we know how to backtrack, and I am really curious to see what else we have, so I think the dungeon is gonna wait. And in particular, by this time I think it's time to start talking about wand building. I already mentioned what you can do with wands, but 99% of your deaths are of course some random gibberish, feltingering to put all the... but also a gibberish which could have been prevented if you had spent more time placing the correct spells to create a good synergy. I am trying to emphasize a lot on this aspect because it's really the most important aspect of the game. And I think the first and easiest one to create is an infinite cast wand. Recharge time minus 0.17. As you can see, the wand keeps shooting, without ever stopping. Our mana will never go to zero, because in our wand we have good enough mana regeneration and low enough cast delay and reload time to allow endless shooting. This was achieved not only because of a good wand, but also because of the good spells we placed in it. Even if we are shooting only a very low damage spell, 1,000 paper cuts can kill someone. In the same way, this little spell, cast infinite times, can kill anything you want. This is the most basic level of wand building you need to understand to win on the game. And the combinations are really endless, some of which makes me think Noita players are like NASA scientists in their free time, because how the hell do you come up with that? To quickly recap, spend time understanding your spells. Sometimes experimenting may hurt you, but it's still part of the informations which allow you to win. And while on the topic, learn which wand you want to pick. You want to pick wands which are non-shuffle. A wand casts the spells from left to right and then reloads. But if it's a shuffle wand, it randomly decides which spell to cast every single time it casts. You don't want randomness. You want your combo to be performed exactly how you created it. And as last mechanic I want to mention for now on wands, there are chainsaws and wand looping. Chainsaws, as the description says, has some magical properties. What this means is that it reduces to 0 the cast delay before the next spell. And if you use something which casts multiple spells at once, such as double cast, and you put in it a chainsaw and something else, the total cast delay of those two will become 0. In other words, Chainsaw is your best friend for infinite casting. And talking about double cast, what it does is it takes the next 2 spells it sees on the wand and casts them together. But if you have only 1 spell or 0 spells after it, what it does is it loops back around at the start of the wand before recharging. So you can basically cast a spell which is at the start of your wand without reloading 2 times in the same cycle. This is fantastic, for example, if you have low amounts of certain spells. Imagine you have 1 chainsaw. When you cast chainsaw, the reload time gets reduced by 0.17. If you cast it 2 times with this technique, you reduce the reload time by 0.34, which is a great improvement. But hey, this is not only a mini guide, it's also my personal experience, so let's go back in it. Talking about understanding to break the limits of the game, this game has 3 ways of doing stuff. First is the most common one, the linear one, the corridor. You just follow the dungeon and continue. Second is there is one obviously presented side way you can go to. And the third one is... Yes, you can teleport over the point in which the Holy Mountain collapses. Which means you can also go back and you can still tinker your wands. This is not a bug. This is not an exploit. This is Noita. My runs went from being attempts to try to progress and beat the game, whatever that means, to attempts to uncover what this game truly is. For now, my main goal became perfectly pictured in my head. Kill Squidward. And for that, I was gonna need some very good wands. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, endgame weapon. But things were going well. Too well. No, I don't think we should stay in here. No, 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 no. You're telling me enemies can reflect my spells too? Whatever, whatever, let's not think about the negative stuff, okay? We are learning, and now we know that finger thingy reflects spells. That's fine, right? I'm not going insane or anything. No, 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 no. We can just do all of these over and over again. The sky is the limit. Wait. The sky? What is this fog? So we could fly a little bit using this, for example. The work. No, that's not the face of a maniac. That's the face of someone who is feeling so good in seeing that this game gives you everything you could ever want. Really, if you never played Noita and you tend to jiggle like me in moments like these, I would suggest you to stop the video, buy it from Steam and start playing. Really, I am suggesting you to stop watching my video. Not because it's bad, or at least I hope so, let me know in the comments, but because I want you to experience the same feelings I had and I will have later. And also, if you like the video, you can leave a like and subscribe. For everyone who remains, let's continue. On the right of Squidward Chamber, we found a giant desert, full of structures with not a clear usage for now, except for one building. Welcome to the Pyramid, a true menace early on, a Luna Park in the current moment. Full of tight corridors, such as the Easy Base, but this time, we are not trapped here with the monsters. The monsters are trapped here with us. There are also a couple of traps on the walls, which may or may not catch you by surprise, but once you realize they are there, you can destroy them preemptively. It's in moments like this, when you visit a seemingly impossible area, that you understand if you built a good wand or not. We are pulverizing every single threat in our road, so we can be pretty happy about our building. For now, at least. Say hello to our second boss. 3 eyes legs. Call me Silman Koipi! This one has a gimmick too. What you see is just the shell of our enemy. The real target is hiding inside, and he's gonna keep spawning minions and throwing giant balls of distractions periodically. What you have to do is resist long enough for him to open his mouth and start attacking. I gotta say, this, I think it's supposed to be the first boss the game wants you to defeat. The arena is also pretty helpful towards you, we may say. It's full of little corridors, which allow you to easily escape from the boss fight. The boss can break walls, but he requires kind of a long time, so you can go away, heal a little bit, wait, healing? And we mention this later, okay? We talk about healing later. Overall, the fight itself is not that difficult, and our stuff was also pretty good, and our building was also pretty good. That's why, on our first try, we achieved victory. It's dead! Yes! We defeated our first boss! Yes! Finally, at the end of the third stream, we made concrete progress. The first boss has been defeated, and for the first time, we can go to sleep with a victory on our head, without seeing the game over. Or not, because of course I am a stupid idiot and I cannot just say, okay, it's been 9 hours of stream, let's go to sleep. No, of course I have to be stupid and we explode. Whatever. But hey Frapollo, you mentioned healing. What was that about? The game, fortunately, contains some sources of healing. Not only the Holy Mountain. Spells. The one I think you will see for the majority of your runs is the Healing Bolt. This is a 20 use spell, which heals whatever it hits. Yeah, you heard me right. You do not get automatically a way to heal, you have to find a way to hit yourself with it. You can do it by shooting in the water, where the bullet is much slower, or you can do it with some special modifiers such as the boomerang, which makes the projectiles reflect towards you. But regardless of how difficult it is to maybe use this, the moment in which you find a healing wand is the best moment of your run. Yes! Oh, there is also Circle of Vigor to heal, but it's so rare that you will see it once every blood moon, just to know that it's OP as hell, okay? Let's go back to our adventure. We continue stronger than ever, with more motivation than ever, and our brain is slowly becoming bigger and bigger, and our wands are becoming longer and longer. That's fascinating as well, being able to compare the ones you started the game with and the ones you are slowly learning to create the more the time passes. The difference is like day and night. Regardless of how many deaths you and I may have at this point, what I think should be felt is that we are spending more time on each floor. The knowledge we accumulated is allowing us to prepare even more. I don't doubt that if you know what you're doing, you can speedrun the game no damage. I know there is someone which completed the game in 2 seconds. What the? But for an average player, such as me, I think taking your time and setting up is the best approach possible. Also, considering that defeating Call Me Billy, Picky, Poopy... The green thingy, remember that we unlock new spells which are permanently present in the spell pool you can find. I should be able to fight Stevari like these, come on. Okay. Hello, Stevar. That's Stevari after 5 years of gym. So, let me present you Scode, named by me, Scodella. This is the big brother of Stevari I mentioned at the start, and appears after you kill 3 Stevaris, replacing him forever. What's the catch? Psh, I mean, he breaks walls, has 2 shields, deals incredible damage, shoots multiple projectiles, nothing too special, it's Noita. But okay, let's look at it in the opposite way, okay? The fact we finally saw Scodella means we survived long enough to kill 3 Stevaris, so we are improving. If we cope well enough, we're gonna get out of here, trust me guys. And when I say improving, I mean that the Easy Base is slowly becoming another utility zone where we can collect more wands without problems. There is also a spell shop on one side of the Easy Base. And also we are starting to optimize the 4 wand slots we have available to us. The first is of course the damage dealer, which usually is an endless cast wand. Then we have the digging wand, the storage, which is only used to preserve more spells while we go through the zones, and then we have the teleport wand. Teleports are great not only to go around zones, but also for some funny skips such as you saw before, the Holy Mountain. And on that note, I said going through the zones... You don't even have to go through the zones! You can just dig around them if you have a strong enough drill. Are you realizing what's happening? With our knowledge, zones, which were meant to be compulsory obstacles, became resources. You can decide which zone to visit, what to do, when to do. And since I was feeling excited, I made a proposal to the chat for another side area. Do you think, with 471 HP, we could go to the Dragon Cave? You can... Okay, new question. With 443 HP... How big is this thing? Haha, the egg Groviera. Okay, relax. Yes! Yeah, maybe we were a little bit over-prepared for this, but I didn't know what I was gonna find, what can I tell you? Basically, from what I understood, the way bosses work in this game is they usually drop 1 or 2 wands, and then something else which may be either spells or special items. And this dragon, Suomu Hauki, being very easy, is actually very good for us. It means early on, in case we die, no, actually not in case we die, when we die, it's gonna be a very easy opponent to take out early on to have a chance for better wands. We are starting to create some steps in our run, some places we can visit to get guaranteed loot to have more options. That's exactly what I do in all my challenge runs on Fear and Hunger, understanding where the guaranteed stuff is, so I can then utilize it to decide my strategies. The way to Squidward becomes shorter and shorter. And then I got another brainwave. Wait a second, there was a desert on the right, a sky in this... I was gonna say a sky in the sky. A sky above me. What lies on the left, you would say? No. What lies after the desert? I may want to go on the right side and see what happens. Sus. I'm starting to get scared. Oh. A wall, which extends from the bottom all the way to the top. Damage on contact, and if you are crazy enough to break it, the air itself will slowly damage you. What you're seeing here is Minecraft Bedrock. It's the ocean of Spore. It's the crater edge of Subnautica. It's a limit imposed by the game, which is not supposed to be trespassed, as it leads nowhere. But it's weird to say it. Here I felt differently from when I met Bedrock in Minecraft, for example. For what happened up to now, it almost seems weird to me that an unsurmountable obstacle was deliberately placed in here. To explain better, I think the game is lying. I think this is not the end of the road. But before thinking about it, I still have one last thing to do. Squidward. And while I was slowly turning the world into a giant ant farm... And here we are! Laboratory! We still have 77 seconds... Say hello to the Ili Alchemisti! Boss of the laboratory, found completely randomly, it's one of the most important bosses of the game. From what I was able to figure out from this first battle, he's supposed to copy the spells you throw at him, while also creating a reflective shield every couple of seconds. It is not a battle of constant spam of your best spells. It's almost a turn-based RPG. You have to wait until the shield disappears to machine gun your way to victory. I was honestly very lucky. The conformation of the zone allowed me to deal damage to him while also being able to periodically hide and heal whenever needed. And even if it was just my first time finding it, we were able to triumph. 3 HP! He always drops some letters on death. And little did I know, I was in front of some of the most broken spells of the game. No, actually, to be fair, I did realize that. To summarize, what letters do is to cast copies of other spells. Pretty simple, right? Well, if you read more into what I just said, what happens if I use a letter to cast a copy of a spell which is not infinite? A spell with a limited amount of usage, such as, I don't know, a healing spell, or black hole, or anything that is very broken? Yes, casting a copy means casting another spell, different from the actual one. With the letters, we unlocked infinite spells. I think it's in that moment, a giant ray of light entered through my window, penetrated my head, and I turned into Mozart, cause it was time to cook. We found Summon Taikasova, a spell with one use which summons a wand to fight for you. Discovered that the possessed wand can die and leave a wand on the ground with some spells you can loot. And also that we can intentionally kill them with stuff such as explosions. Make 2 plus 2 together. So I need this. Copies the 2 following spells in the wand. "12 seconds later. Infinite wands, infinite spells, infinite everything." Now, the pool of the spells and the wands is not actually infinite, there are some limits to it, but still, with the amount of stuff we can get in here, I can guarantee you we can become potentially invincible. This is exactly what I think I needed to start the preparations for Squidward. Squidward, from all the previous attempts we did, seemed either immune to certain damage, or having a great invincibility cooldown every time it takes damage. Which means using a wand which spams a spell is not gonna be effective. That's why we're gonna use the opposite. Giga Blades, which does great damage in one single hit, even though we have to be careful because they can retaliate too. And regardless, Squidward is still very dangerous. I already told you how he's able to teleport you potentially into the lava, and there is also something much worse he does, but it's something we will mention more later. I spent a good 30 minutes just creating more wands, destroying them, seeing which spells do they drop, and assembling the perfect wand for the battle. And with all ready, we started going to the arena. Yeah, we're gonna make an arena like Terraria, exactly! Bravery isn't the absence of fear, but the idea that something is more important than fear, that there is something you have to fight for, that there are some choices you have to make, even if the outcome scares you. Welcome to our blind run of Noita. Starring the fantastic YouTube chat, and me. While a completely silent Frapollo faces off his greatest nemesis of this game, let me spend a couple of words for this fantastic soundtrack. I really think this studio made a great job in making it so that every single piece of music you listen to creates the atmosphere, creates the urgency, or the tension, dependently from the place. And if you don't feel the urgency of dancing on the notes of this boss music, you are playing the game wrong. I honestly don't have anything but praise for these. I mean, I'm not a music composer or something, you know those videos like music composer reacts to the soundtrack of the whole game. No, I am just an Italian idiot, okay? But even if you don't want to play the game, I really suggest you to listen to all the soundtrack. It's worth it. Buddy? Yes! 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 This is our blind run of Noita! This is our blind run of Noita! Yes! We did it! It's over. Our mortal enemy fell without leaving trace, off screen, and another boss, the most important boss, if we want to say so, was defeated. In my view, this is the turning point of the game. We are finally outside of the early game and can start looking into the horizon of the mid-game. Full of excitement, we went back to that wall we saw before. But, accidentally... anything. Look around... Hey! Eh? Eh? Yeah, randomly, inside of a giant wall, there is a room full of gold, and you know what's another feeling I have, which is becoming bigger and bigger as we play? This seems almost like a mod of an already existing game. It seems like someone created the game called Noita, and then someone else took it, and added random stuff in it, in various places, and created particular gimmicks, and it's precious. It gives a whole other perspective. This is the real version of the creators. This is the real vision of the creators. It's difficult to describe it, but there is a charm in seeing some supposedly randomly placed stuff in the middle of nowhere, in an actual game instead of a mod. But let's go back to our wall. We start throwing heavily empowered black holes, and heal because we have now an infinite source of healing. It's not a matter of if we can do it, it's a matter of when we can do it. And slowly, the path becomes more and more opened. Black hole! Is that the end? Is that another material? What? Can I touch that, or is that insta-death? Not looking so sassy today, idiot! We did it. We are beyond the cursed rock. That's not the end. Hello? Okay. Another cloudscape. Squidward? Yeah, no. Let's get the hell out of here. I am not gonna enter into a zone where supposedly Squidwards are a normal enemy. No. I think I'm not ready. At least now we know that effectively there is something beyond that cursed rock. This game really has no limits. And there is still another place unchecked. The work. Hello? Hey! The work. The work appears as an amalgamation of clouds, mechanical components, and what appears to be ice, and it is full of living beings which want to only murder you. Oh, and also they pee? Like, you can tell me what you want, that they are literally peeing. You know what would be even more hilarious? Imagine if the pee was able to kill you. That would be funny, right? Okay. So it extends a lot horizontally. You know, rewatching the VODs to write the script for this video is like reopening a wound which had been closed for like a month or two for now. Why did I even start making this video? Okay. It's time to open a little parenthesis on the most annoying status of the game. No, actually, of any video game ever created in the world. Polymorph. What Polymorph does is very simple. It turns you into a ship. 30 minutes adventure! And while you're in a ship, you have less than 100 HP, all your perks disappear, and you cannot attack. And if you didn't realize, the game is a roguelike. So, imagine spending 50 hours, you have a very good save file, maybe you have some fantastic stats, and then you accidentally get polymorphed. Ouch! Polymorph! No! 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 You know what, let's move on. I don't want to think about it anymore, okay? Oh yeah, by the way, I did something I normally don't do for a game. I started drawing my own map to keep track of everything in the world. And also because if it wasn't clear, despite the bullshit, I am loving this game so much. Why don't we just go all the way to the right and take the coins, okay? So I went in there, I took the coins. Then, since I also had a long teleport bolt, I thought, I wasn't able to see what's on the top of the pillar, which was above the gold. So, I started going up. I started going up. I started going up. Do you know what the definition of insanity is? The work is not only a mortal place full of bastards which want to piss on you, it's also home to some of the most powerful spells, always available to you for a price, in one of the infinitely generated shops as you go above. They are quite expensive, but we have a room full of gold, are you connecting the dots? And these spells very rarely include summon Taikasova. We just found another step to become overpowered. Find a drill or a black hole, go to the gold, and then, with a teleport, go to the workshop. Let me just say one thing, if you do that, don't be greedy and don't keep going upwards without a fast way to go down, because, let's say, if you don't have a way to go down very fast, it may be kinda time-consuming to do that. I think it's better if we go down, okay? Because we already have some very good stuff to start a run with. Between Gamma, Phi, Omega, and Sigma. And so the moonshot, which makes us the life of stuff like the you see the never I think it's now, you know, that's the next problem. Do you remember I told you I traveled a lot upwards using the long teleport shot? The falling part of this stream lasted literally 20 minutes. I am not joking, you can see them, the streams are still on the channel. But in the end, I guess, that's really what the game is about. Find the craziest exploits to achieve immense power and one-shot everything to find the most powerful spells in the world. At one point I even had fun just going around the map and just using Black Hole to destroy everything. You are God if you want in this game. You decide what exists and what doesn't. Okay, sorry. I am gonna calm down now. But since the main thing the game showed us is going down and going deeper, what lies at the bottom? We have a place to go. Volcanic Lake. A giant wall of lava. Okay, clearly there is nothing else down there, we can just leave and go somewhere else, I guess. Come on guys, you're not believing that. You are not believing that. I already know it's a trick. Let's black hole our way to the other side. And, as someone would say... welcome to hell. This is the opposite of the work, is an infinitely generated descent into the deepest depths of the world. And even here you can find shops. And that's nowhere near being the end of it. It's full of zones and spells combinations we still did not explore. Did you know that there is a realm made of meat inhabited by a giant Lima Toka, which always drops a wand of the highest tier possible? Hell, there is an entire underground machine realm where you can find a machine gun and a mechanical spider. I should say, call me Silman Silma. Then if you use Nolla on the teleport wand, you can just do... Or do you know you can combine Black Hole and teleport on the same wand so you can dig and teleport in the same time? Then there is the Masters of Masters, Mestarian Mestari! And that's not even half of it, literally! Up to now, I only talked about zones on the right of the world. What about the left? On the left there is the God of all animals and the Subnautica. And if you go deeper, there is even the Reaper Leviathan, Silvaolento! And then, there is once again the wall. Are we gonna have what I think we are gonna have? So both on the left and on the right of the world there is this thing. Ah, it's just a loop. Okay, okay, I see. It's just a loop, I think. So wait a second. So if on the left there is this, and it's called West Desert. But there is no way they recreated a whole... I don't know if you can tell, but my confusion was on incredible levels. I was slowly understanding what was going on, and I think you are realizing as well. No, but there is no way there is a... Welcome to Parallel Worlds. An almost perfect copy of the starting world, without some of the bosses and structures, but apart from those, it's perfectly identical. That's cool and all, but it seems there is not much use for them. After all, the portals don't lead you to a new holy mountain, they lead to the previous ones, so there is really nothing we can do in there. Wait. What if you don't take the portals? What if you dig into the holy mountain? What are these sounds? No! No! Yes, you saw correctly. More perks, more shops, and the entrance to the endgame. The core loop of this game is finally clear. Use the starting world bosses and resources to visit the parallel worlds, take infinite perks, and become God. The worlds are seemingly infinite. After a parallel world there is another one, and you can infinitely power yourself up. I am not lying when I say this game is everything I have ever wanted. A progression which seemingly does not stop, even if you think it's the end, adding always more and more stuff to do. And the game is still being updated, so maybe it's not even the end now. Maybe there is gonna be more stuff in the future. Honestly, I have no other words to describe how much I love! My keyboard doesn't work! My keyboard didn't work! Noita gives, Noita takes. And I could stay here many more hours mentioning other peculiarities or particular zones. But to give a conclusion, does this game end? You see, there is still a road we did not traverse, from the deepest holy mountain present in the cave. Oh boy, I already hear a good music. Of course it's a freaking spider. I genuinely have still no clue what the hell we are doing in this game. But it's clear we're in front of our goal. We're in front of the precise thing we started our adventure for. Say hello to Call Me Silma. Let's go. No, No! No, what do you mean? No, no. Let's see the battle a little bit, it's gonna help us in the future, okay? Our setup and our exploration allowed us to be incredibly prepared. And we were also lucky, as he's supposed to power up with each orb you collect in the same playthrough. After all this time, we became much stronger than this thing will ever be. After all this time. See ya, buddy. Now you are gonna be the real salty one. That's it. Our power is too much. This giant abomination gets pulverized, and we become the sun, which will shine all over the world. Ah! Complete the work? And that's the end of Noita. There is still a lot of stuff I did not talk about in this video, like multiple quests, even multiple boss fights. Or there is even nightmare mode, you know? Ah! But explaining everything wasn't really the main purpose of the video. It was more to share my experience with you and try to explain why the magic of this game goes much further than the one equipped on your wands. So, Did you like the video? Let me know in the comments, and leave a like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. I do these types of videos very rarely, but I have a lot of fun in the process, so if you want to see more of them, you know what to do. But for today, I was your host, Frapollo94, and I will see you next time.